Okay, so the section we're going to talk now is part of what is called as leading agile teams. So far we have seen in the last two sections, the concept of the agile leadership. How do I, as an agile leader myself, we saw in a bunch of things like the Canavan framework. How do I take care of myself, in my journey as a leader? Now we're going to go into the journey of like, if I am in an organization and I want to create teams, how do I lead teams? That's this section. And one of the favorite topics of most leaders is this concept of a high performance team. So let's kind of go in there and talk a little bit about what is a high performance team, right? So we'll start with your definition here. So if you were to give me a definition of a high performance team, what would that look like? So I'm just going to give a minute for you to think about. So Russ or Anastasia, like what do you think a high performance team is? What should be happening in a high performance team?
Constant communication.
Okay.
Improvement, yes.
Always improvement.
Continuous, yeah. Continuous improvement.
Okay.
Collaboration, yeah. I made the same as communication.
Collaboration.
I would say maybe a high level of motivation, yes, and engagement in the process.
Yeah, higher level of motivation. I like the word you're using, higher level of motivation, right? So, I think if I agree with all of that, right? But if you're going to look at least when I look at examples of high performance teams, and again, these are similar to what you are saying, right? But these are just some things that I see in teams. I necessarily don't like the word high performance team, but if you think of predictable teams or teams that you can trust, so like for example, at John Deere, one of the teams I work with, they're there together for the last 8 years, and they always get called, when there is a need, and that they are so trusted that they get called for solving some complex problems there, right? So what are some things that you often see? For me, the first, one of the things is predictability and quality, right? Like that you can call this team and be sure that they'll get stuff done in a very predictable manner. There's a lot of some of the trust is there. People depend on each other, right? They're openly able to give feedback. They're always changing their skill set. I've seen in these kind of teams that somebody is working on, let's say, a Java code today. Tomorrow you ask them, they're like, oh, I was working in Java, but now I also do Python. Now I also do this. Now, so their skills are just infinitely increasing. Generally they are long term together, because in order to learn a team well, they are more persistent. One of the things I like a lot about is like this concept of order shapers, not order takers. I think you kind of spoke about the Anastasia, right? Like so we think about the customer, we challenge whatever is being given to us, right? And we just don't take it for like granted. Just because you tell us doesn't mean we don't do it. We're going to ask you the why. And so these teams are empowered to ask those questions, right? Like they push back and say, "Why? I'm not going to build it. Tell us why." And so you kind of get that pushback from them, right? I like to think of them as order shapers, right? Um, some in the end of the day, I think if they don't deliver business value, like you could put in all these things, it could be a great team, predictable, whatever, right? But you need to be like delivering regularly business value delivery, right? Where you can deliver things. It doesn't matter what it is, they find a way to find a solution, right? So and then they cannot become these fearless problem solvers, right? They'll find unique ways to cut through the problem, but because they trust each other and they learn each other, right? And that's kind of what at least a few things I view as characteristics of a high performance team, that you would often see in a high performance team. Okay, let's pause there for a second. And what else do you want to add to this thing? Anything you want to add on this top of this? We have a couple of more things here. What caught your attention on this one?
I like the fearless Oh, sorry, Russ, go ahead.
No, Anastasia, please go ahead.
No, I just want to mention I really like especially the fearless problem solver. And I think it's based on the high trust, yes, and quality and the team. They know each other and they know they have a different kind of skills.
Yeah.
So yeah, great.
My ad was that sometimes in high performance teams, you're going to see them create their own language. They know how to communicate with each other. And it's something that they create themselves.
Mm. Unique to them, right? So
It's usually, yep, unique to them. And then it becomes just more rapid. They can just give themselves signals and things happen. And communication becomes more efficient.
thank you.